Hello, Otto.
How's it going? Going?
It's going.
Yeah.
I try to do my best to come to Tai Chi on Monday or Friday, but invariably I miss one. So is the benefit more if I attend Monday and Friday?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I'm on the East
so I
Coast.
don't know why I'm getting a an echo from your end. So
Yeah,
if oh, now it's okay. Now it's fine. Um, Ella, are you new today? I think this is your first time.
I am. I'm new.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No, I'll just have to see what we do. It's been a long time since I've done Tai Chi,
Nice. Yeah.
but
Otto, the last time Karen introduced herself and I didn't get her number and we were signed off. And I know you gave us a little time. Is she here today?
Yeah, it looks like Karen Garrison is here. Why don't you send her a message in
Yeah.
the chat?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So
Hi, Radhika. I'm here.
Hi,
I
Karen.
didn't get your name last time either, but I'll get it this time.
No worries. Did you?
why don't you guys do, because I usually have to sort of go to my next thing after, and I can't really leave the meeting open. So why don't you do what you're going to do now?
Yeah, okay.
And all it really needs to be is one of you has either one or the other's telephone or email or whatever you're going to do. So Radhika, why don't you send Karen your number?
Okay.
And that'll fix it. Okay. So we begin. You want to have space around you and be sitting at the front edge of your chair. I do need to start the recording here. So as I start it, you're going to have to do something here. Let me see. Oh, I guess it is recording. Is it recording? Oh, okay. I guess it's recording. Let me make sure of that. Resume. Okay, so that little box jumps up on your screen. You have to click the word "got it," and it will clear that out of your way. And then, hold on, sorry, a little bit of tech. Okay. Mute everyone. Okay. So you got your chair. Sitting at the front edge of the chair. This is meditation 101. Sitting at the front edge of a chair, or if you were on a cushion, the idea being that you're not slouching. So that tipping forward a little bit in the pelvis, that helps us bring everything into what's called Zhongjung, or central upright. Take a little moment for that. Often you need to add a slight amount of chin down, back of skull up, to open up this back of neck and skull and give this sort of gentle drawing up from the crown quality. And then we chun one, or release, relax all tension out of the body and let it basically leave the body, this grip and tension. So that's called chunwon, softening as the means of finding stability. And there's a descent, a settling downward, but a corresponding levity, buoyancy that is revealed and cultivated over time as we soften and relax. So when you're doing, we're doing it in a chair, you could be sitting cross-legged with on a cushion on the ground, however you want to do your meditation practice. But this is all those three basic ideas are a great place to go, where Zhongjung, central upright, Chunwon, softening and releasing as your means of finding stability. And then Qing Ling, or that levity, that nimbleness that is present when we are not holding extra tension in the body. And then we breathe in the nose, out the nose or the mouth. Close the eye. So with your eyes closed, notice that you can scan your body with your awareness. You can feel your toes and feet, legs, pelvis. You can see perhaps your entire spinal column and where your rib cage is attached. And you can feel your scapula or your shoulder blades that are on your back. You can feel that they are maybe symmetrical with each other. Maybe one shoulder blade feels a little different than the other. Usually that's the case. We have one that's maybe a little shrugged and the other a little drooped or something like that. So you want to sort of scan the body so that you can sense what's going on, which would then be the information for making any corrections, any little micro adjustments. But if we're not even able to sense the body, we can't make those adjustments. So it's another layer of the meditation is sitting, breathing, looking inward, scanning, being present. And this could be a half-hour long practice, and I highly recommend you do that. We won't do it here because we've got to move on to the next phase, but let's just do 10 breath cycles of highly present, conscious breaths. So you're present with the entire inhale, that next inhale you take. At the top of the inhale, hold the breath for a second or two or three, and then be present for the whole exhale all the way out. And then hold the empty space. Don't inhale right away. Inhale again when you're ready. Long, smooth, and full. Hold full. Exhale, long, smooth, and empty. Hold empty. Continue for a few more cycles. Consider the idea that you are releasing something extra, as opposed to adding something new. You're losing something in a positive way. You're letting go and allowing for a more natural state, which again, this is very Taoist in its approach. It's saying our goal is not to add on a bunch of new skills or new ideas. It's actually to remove those layers of shroud and distraction and return to our most natural state. Like a baby, returning back to this baby soft quality, and yet retaining our adult wisdom. Now take your hands on your thighs, slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, arch. And then the opposite, slide your hands forward past the knees till your elbows straighten, hollow the chest, drop your head, round your back. Let's do that 3 more times. And again, make each one count because we're only going to do a couple of reps. So you inhale, go all the way to the edge and hold there. And then exhale, sliding the hands round. And again. And then return to the neutral or the middle position. Left hand forward past your knee, right hand back, elbow back, turn to your right. And then turn back to center and turn to the left. Back to center and turn to the right. Center, left. Center. Right. One more each way. Back to center. And hang your arms. Shift a little bit to your right buttock. Lean. Lift your left wrist up as you reach your right hand down. And again, what I'm physically doing is opposite to what I'm saying. I'm saying what you'll do. So this is my right hand, but I'm saying left hand down, right wrist up because I'm just being your mirror. And then we switch. All 24 vertebrae, getting a light little side bend. And then another side bend. Freedom of movement. Only available when we relax and then practice Shen Fa or body method, body technique to awaken these mechanisms, to clean out the extra that's in there. Come back to neutral. Shoulder blades, shrug up, down. So again, the arm, people think the arm starts here. It starts here. Shrug up, down. Up is the yang expression or the doing. And then it's very important to think of this one as yin. You're letting it go and releasing it so that it's just loose rather than pushing it down or holding it down. We're loosening it. And then we go again, shrug and melt. Now, forward, up, over top, back, down the back, under, forward and up, over. top, back, down, under. Cleaning out whatever is stuck in the many layered, as I've said multiple times, the shoulder blades, the scapula, are the most complicated joint in the body. They have the most converging muscle groups, and they go out to 5, 6 different areas in the body, up to the neck, down to the back, around to the front. And so that's why we got to keep them clean. We got to upkeep them. Reverse, back, up, forward, down. And when it comes to balance and walking and not falling down, the idea is that we are top heavy if we're holding tension anywhere, really, but especially up here, then we're really top heavy. And so there's a saying in Tai Chi, top empty, bottom full. So we want to empty out this stuckness in the upper to allow it to get down to the earth. Bend your elbows, elbows out and up. Again, just another Shen Fa or body method to do something positive for us. Elbows together. By making this shape, certain mechanisms, tissue have to give way and then together. So this one's more like a chicken wing, right? Out. And then squeezing. And then this one is pulling straight back, and then down, forward, up. Again, another shape that when you create it, you're inducing movement of a joint and a tissue relationship that tends to get really stuck. All the way. So again, notice my elbows are pointing up, my hands are down my back. And out, hug, open. Just another Shen Fa or body method. Close, open, close, open, close, open. And elbows down, arms out in front, or arms all the way down. And we'll just move to the next bit. Now scoot back on your chair a little bit so you're very stable. Load. So notice this loading gesture. The thigh is lifting and the knee is bending and the heel's coming in. So it's like a spring, loading, unload, reload, and then put the foot down. Other leg, load, push, load, down. So there's many factors that make for a healthy leg, let's say, but one of them is definitely freedom of movement through the entire range of motion. So we're not doing a resistance, we're not pushing against weight right now, but we're just making sure that the joints and tissue can go all the way to maximum fold, all the way to maximum extend, all the way back to maximum fold. And with Parkinson's and other nervous system issues, and also just aging in general, I've done a lot of work with people in all these different states. One of the biggest factors is our brain. The brain sort of getting stuck in these mediocre, meager versions of movement. And so one of the great medicines here is thorough. Thoroughly finish the load, thoroughly finish the extend, everything complete. And this is where Tai Chi is the underlying idea of, rather than going fast and doing a bunch of a movement, fewer reps done all the way to their ends. You sort of, again, the term silk reeling, chan se, silk reeling, right? So now straighten your right leg out, point, flex. So rather than point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, which is how people often do it, point, flex, finish it. Be present for it with your mind. Be present in your toes. So you're like wiring, you're helping the internet connection, the wiring. Now, invert, evert. In, evert. In, out. Now, circle. In, around, and out. And up, and in, around, and out. Circle. Reverse, circle. Connecting brain and body, softening and loosening up these places of rigidity. Switch, other foot, point and flex. Be thorough. Invert, tilt, evert, tilt. And make sure you note the leg isn't moving at all, just the foot. Circle. Reverse the circle. And down. Scoot forward on your chair. Step a little wider than hip distance. Lift your toes up. Turn on the heels. Turn your toes and knees in, closing the quad. And then toes lift and turn out, opening the quad. Closing. And the quad is the groin area where the legs and hips meet. It's an important space in Tai Chi. Because belly and quad and lower back are our middle. This is the cockpit from which to operate our fighter jet or our vehicle. Here, this area of the body. And so the key is we have to open up the space around it so that we feel centered and grounded here. Because a lot of times we're grounded up here in our tension, where fear is kind of running the show, right? So we're just cleaning that out so that we actually find, oh, there's my middle, right? Now, hip hinge, bow forward, sit upright, lean back, sit upright, bow forward, upright, lean back. So what we've just done, this is the last one, in this minimum joint mobilization warm-up, right? Because you know if you've come to other classes that I can spend an hour and a half doing just in the chair, hitting every single part and doing all different kinds of shenfa. But here we just want to get through those basics so that now we're ready to stand up and work on a little more difficulty here. So to stand up correctly, rather than think up, which is how, again, we usually think about it, instead, slide the feet back and note that your body weight is connecting down to the earth through your chair. So then to get it to go through the legs, down through the feet, we have to fold and spill forward. Once we achieve that, then coming up is not an effort at all. And then we got to reverse that sequence to sit down safely. Rather than falling back into the chair, we use the mechanisms of the body to fold and sink to get the butt to the chair, and then we commit to the chair where the feet are empty, and then we pour the weight out. And so if you're doing it right, standing up and sitting down should not feel like any sort of movement, it should eventually be spilling, sliding, oozing through your movement. And so that's what Tai Chi and Taoist practice offers us, is training us to let it be soft, smooth, and easy, right? Now, don't sit in your chair, but do the exact same physical gesture as your means of getting your fingers down near your toes, possibly even to the floor. And then rise all the way to vertical. And we're going to add something. From the hips forward. Right? So notice that little arch there. And then the hips going back is what allows us this freedom of down, fold, and then up. Hips forward and allow this little bit of an arch back. So once again, this helps us find our middle by realizing if you're doing this right, your entire body is basically like a cooked noodle. And you're just moving from your middle. So whether your arms are forward or back or whatever, it has nothing to do with some effort on your part. It's more like you're so relaxed that as you push your hips forward, those arms just swing back. One more. And standing. Keep your chair right where it is. So don't move your chair at all. Just stay standing, facing forward. Now, just notice that your feet have more foot in front of the ankle than behind the ankle. That's just how we're all built. So that means that we can tip forward a little bit and actually create, you can see in my body, if you drew a line, my head is in front of my ankles. My body's at a sort of slant. But when I rock back into the heels, I don't create a corresponding direction. Quite the opposite. You rock back and your head and shoulders have to sort of stay forward as your middle goes back to keep your zhong jump. Forward. Back. Again, you want your chair there in case you almost lose balance and you can sit in your chair. Now we add the loose quality in the shoulders, rock forward and float your hands forward, not up. So notice the difference between forward and up. People do up when we want to do just forward. Think of this like elastic, right? You're going elastic, and then rock back and swing back. So they end up a little behind. Rock forward, swing forward. Rock back, swing. This helps us in many ways, but one of the things it's doing is helping us find our middle, this belly place that is the same, that is an organizing spot, whether we're in our toes or whether we're in our heels. Let's do two more. And we have to have softness to ground us, because any tension pulling us up, when I go forward, I'm going to feel like I'm going to fall. But only when I'm relaxed can I feel this groundedness in my toes with the hands out and my heels with the arms back, right? So this really is a powerful exercise for many of the subtle principles we're looking for. Now, stay in your heels, open and lift. So we're a little bit in the heels, we're opening. Feel this space through the whole body, fingers reaching out to the side walls. And then tip into your toes and sweep around. And out in front. So if I turn sideways, you can see I'm at this tipped forward position and my hands are reaching, palms facing up. Then rock to the heels, soften and sink the elbows as the means of bringing hands in to the mouth level. So it's up here. Then settle to the middle of your feet, hands settle to the middle. Hollow the front. Hollow the front, open the back, squat. And release the arms. Push through the earth, rise up to standing tall, and again, we rock heels, open, lift. Eventually, that's just one smooth gesture. Then toes, sweep around, breathe. Heels, soften, sink elbows, hands come as if bringing in the mouth, past the mouth, and then settle to the middle of your feet, hands settle to the middle. And then hips hinge back, and chest, belly, hollow. Hollow. So that combination opens what's called the courtyard. The space right here around which the body is organized that allows us to just sink right through. And then we push through the earth and stand nice and tall. Ideally with another layer of extra released. So we're softer, looser, more free. Let's do 2 more of these. Rock. In a formal retreat setting with my teacher, every form we practice, we're doing at least 9 of these, sometimes more. It's sort of like a hypnotic practice for the mind, as well as a biomechanical training for all the joints and tissue. We rock heels and open and lift. Then we go toes and sweep around, breathe. Then we go heels, hands coming in and settle to the middle of the feet, hands settle to the middle, and then hollow the front so that you can sink. Back to standing. Then we do what's called shogun, or closing gesture, wings. Palms roll up, fold over top, and sink. Hands right at navel. Turn the hands, palms face in. And just pause for a moment. Like letting all water return to the central reservoir. Hands cross and come down and release. Tai Chi basics. Soft knees, relaxed hips, loose shoulders, loose arms. Rising hands. So now it's forward and up. Wrists are soft. At the top, roll over, down. A little behind you. Then wrists relax, sort of like you're painting a wall with this side. Up, roll over, down. These movements give us an opportunity to really, like I was saying, sort of rewire. We're rewiring brain and body relationship. The emphasis is on the quality of sung, soft, supple, pliable. We already know that we can grab our body and yank it through space, to make it do something. What we're looking for is, can we not grab the body? Can it be in a state of total suppleness and softness and yet still operate the vehicle? Bring the hands in front, low cradle, open. Just be so loose. Challenge yourself by not adding any extra. Not trying to go faster. Also not trying to go so slow that you're stagnant. It's just this Taoist rhythm, this Tai Chi rhythm of just casual, leisurely. There's a saying, Qigong is like resting. Meaning we're supposed to be doing it not in the state that we do, a bunch of weightlifting or an intense cardio class. We're doing it in the state of resting, and it has a different result because of that. We're training ourselves to be able to stay in a restful state even in the midst of action. Now, wings, roll, fold, settle, and go all the way through, totally relax and flow right into another one. Roll, fold. Soft. Release. One more. Effortless. Basically levitating your body through space. Now, the complementary exercise here. Backs of hands towards each other. Keep the hands close to the body, so you have to open some interior real estate. And then over top, out, get to the wings. Down. Internally rotate, backs of hands face each other. Come up. And roll. Over top. Down. Up. Over top. Embracing the moon. Wings. Right hand, turn your palm up and bring it over top as the left hand sweeps down under, top and bottom of a ball. Bring the hands to each other at the middle. Separate the hands from each other. And then go around through the wings to the other variation. Top and bottom, middle, top and bottom, around. Add to this, as your hands come together, sink a little bit into the legs. As they separate and sweep around, straighten up out of the legs. It's called sinking and rising. So we're straightened up, and then we have this sink, gap, rise. One more each. Sink as they come towards each other. Rise. Down. Scoop up right in front, straightening the body, rising. Turn the palms over, and as if gently pressing down. But really, think of this more as the sink. Sink, or settle all the way to the bottom. And when you get to the bottom, release, scoop, rise. Legs are straight, body's up really high, sort of lifting, right? We're sort of exaggerating lifting. so that we can really experience the more important skill of settle, 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 which notice is different than a squat. I'm not squatting, but I'm doing something. There's this settling through the body. One more, scooping, straightening up. Get as up, almost uprooted as you can. Turn the hands over so that you can experience settling, settle, settle. Now bring the hands up just to the chest level. Pull the elbows back. Turn the hands forward and push. Push forward. So we've got push to here, but then when we soften, we have extra, where the shoulder blades in the back loosen and we can fully extend. But if we don't soften those shoulder blade mid-back areas, when we try to reach forward, we pull ourselves forward. So one of the best things in this exercise is to reach as far as you can, but with your torso, try to almost go back away from the direction to stabilize yourself. So reach as forward as you can, still going that way, but your torso going sort of back. Combine those two to really draw the tissue looser. And then turn your palms to face and bring in. All the way in, all the way back. Elbows behind you. Let this space open. Turn the palms, push. And again, if you stop here, notice that if you relax, there's more. There's something more. All the way to the tips of the fingers. You got to have looseness in order to get that. And then back. So what's interesting is our effort is actually limiting us. So the more we're trying in the wrong way, the less we're able to do. So the opposite is true, that as you go and then you just kind of, with your mind, you say, oh, I'm going to go for the full edge, but you don't do it with tension, you do it by softening. You find there's all of this range, all this space and function available only through softness, only through softness. Now, just the left hand, push. Now here, notice when you reach just the left hand, you naturally rotate it a little bit. That's you're turning at your middle pivot. Without you even trying to do it, you did it perfectly. Turn the left hand to face the body. Right hand turns to face forward. One draw, one push. And you turn the pivot the other way perfectly by relaxing and being thorough. Turn right hand to face the body, left hand to face forward. One draw, one push. Turn the hand, turn the other hand, one draw, one push. Turn the hand simultaneously someday. Draw, pull. And once you get the choreography of this, there's this sort of lilt, this flow that has a sort of, we go and then it kind of rises and turns over, and then sort of a sinking. Rise, sink. So Ilana, you thought you saw something. I didn't. All I did was change my orientation to show you something. I changed it so you could see this sinking that goes with this, and then this rise. But I didn't change the angle that my arms are going. My arms are still going. This is all they're doing, forward and back. And both hands back, down. release. Loose. Now we had that middle pivot turning place, right? Change your weight to your right leg. Change your weight to your left leg. Notice how you can do it just very casually. Just almost like you're falling down through the right leg and falling down through the left leg. From the middle. That keeps our central pillar lined up such that a cappuccino cup could stay on the head and not spill, right? Whereas if we're tight and we're leaning to get over there, we're losing zhong. So soften and just sink through one leg and then sink through the other. Now stay in your right leg. From your middle pivot, turn. Take your hands over to the right side of the body. Your left leg is empty. Change the weight into the left leg and turn from your middle pivot. That brings the hands through. Let the hands be loose and soft enough that they float over this way. And then shift and turn and brush and sweep. And shift and turn, brush and sweep. It's called the bear washing its paws in the stream. So once we've got leg changing happening and waist turning, belly turning, right? Then pay a little attention to the hand position. So turned, brush, sweep, turn, shift and turn, brush and sweep, turn, shift, turn, brush, sweep. And then again, the looseness that is inevitable when you practice correctly produces the next movement, which is the bear swirls the stream. So now notice that hand going way out in front, but not up. So out and around and in. And then as this one brush knee through, this one goes out and around and in. Bear swirls the stream. And then the bear swats the jumping fish. Right arm raises up, left hand is in the water. So now it's brush knee and bear paw swat across around chest height. And then as that falls down into the water, the other arm floats up. But again, it's loose, it's relaxed. So Radhika, where is your right hand and where is my right hand? So you're now here, you were here, now you're here, right? So then it's shift and turn, because if it's already over here, then it can't do this, which is brush knee, and this hand swinging across the bear paw. Now that left hand comes down, but notice where it stays, over here, as this comes up. So now we're like a wind-up toy. We're wound up this way so we can and come across. And then that right hand goes down, his left arm goes up, but notice that right hand stays over here so that it's got somewhere to go. Down. Now the higher jumping fish. So the low hand does the same thing. The high hand sweeps up. Mine's off screen, but just reach up as high as you can without losing your root. Right hand comes down, left arm's floating up, and then we go, oh, down, oh. We're just changing leg, turning waist. And then stay in your right leg, bring your left hand down, ready for brush knee. Right arm, wing, roll from the elbow, pull. And then Ilana, notice my hand versus your hand. Your hand is doing this. What's mine doing? It's not doing this either. It's doing through. Shift, turn, brush knee, push. Now, left arm wing, right hand down into the water, just like I've described. Don't let it go too far. Roll left palm from the elbow, fold. Don't let the hand lose its cabin pressure. And then shift, turn, brush, push. Now, eventually we want this to happen just like a flow. Ilana, left hand down, right hand fold. There you go. Yep. Shift, turn, brush. So I know it can almost be an optical illusion here because it's like you can't quite see which limb is doing what. But again, the one that is low ends up high. The one that is high ends up low. So they change places. And this one, the left hand has to get all the way into this loaded weapon position, right? Because if it's back here, it's not spring loaded. But once it gets here, now it's boom, boom, like a snake, right? So here, this loaded position, and then we can issue, we can shift, turn, and wow, right? And we let that continue to its end and return. And then shifting, turning, flowing through. Right hand goes down, left hand floats up, rolls, and folds. Again, a healthy body can transform and change. So that's what we're doing. We're transforming and changing all the way over to this side. And then we're transforming, doing the exact opposite experience back this way. So we're trying to get to the place where there's not all that stuckness, all that bramble in the way. And the rivers just flow. Unobstructed flow. Now, pause, bring the hands down. Left foot is empty, step it just a smidge behind you with the toes turned out. Shift into that back leg and take your right foot and have it float out in front. Empty. Light. I like the visual of a dragonfly landing on a pond. Light touch. Now bring this foot back, set it next to the other foot with both toes turning out a little bit. Then change your weight into your right leg so your left foot is empty, and then put it out in that little dragonfly light touch. So it just kind of extends a small amount and touches. Bring the foot back. Change from your middle pivot, change all the way down through the left. So the right foot is totally free. And then bring it back. Change. Left foot free. The mountain and the cloud. So your right leg is a mountain, sturdy. Left leg is a cloud. Bring the cloud foot back, land it while it's still a cloud, and then transform mountain to cloud, cloud to mountain, and feel that freedom of that empty foot. Bring it back, change again. Now we add the brain challenge here. So the toe is out, left toe out, bend left elbow, point the fingers up, right hand down, rather than it just being down limp. There's just a little awareness of it in this shape, right? This shape. Now, bring your empty foot back, set it empty, Now, as you shift into your left leg, change the hands. What is high goes low, what is low goes high. Put the toe out. The golden rooster stands on one leg. Bring the right foot back. Nothing changes in the hands. You just step the foot into position. Then, changing the weight, the hands start changing. The other foot becomes empty and goes out like little dragonfly. Bring the empty foot back. Nothing changes. Change. Everything changes. Change the weight. Everything changes. Golden rooster stands on one leg. Bring the foot back. The golden rooster stands on the other. Change. Change. One final rooster challenge. Empty foot. Take the toe off the ground. Maybe lift. Put it down and switch. Change. So first get to the dragonfly variation with the toe out. And then disconnect it, possibly someday. Bring it up and down. Let's do two more with that option. Change. So be patient enough to first get to this toe touching variation, loose and established, and then, because it's that rushing and that yanking of the body, that's just not elegant, it's not effective. So we want to learn how to have this absolute mastery and control of the soft song state. Song meaning soft, supple, pliable. Golden rooster. Stand on one leg. And wash your paws. Now let's all be in the left leg. Stay there. Sweep the right hand along the lake and then vapor. Lake turns to vapor and floats up. This position here. Back of hand forward. If I turn sideways, you see there's space here. So my hand's not really close to the body. It's also not way out here. It's this, what's called ward off. This kind of a half circle. So hold that. Notice my elbow's not drooped, but it's not sharp. It's right in this interesting sort of in-between state. So the weight is in your left leg and you're turned slightly left, your right arm up. Now, shift to your right leg, turn the cloud across the sky, the left hand sweeps the lake. Now the cloud rains down, the lake vapors up on the other arm. We got that ward off. Again, remember, ward off, space, round. Now, shift, turn, cloud up top, lake sweep on bottom, lake vapors up as the cloud rains down. And then we shift, turn, cloud, lake, vapor and rain, shift, turn, cloud and lake, vapor and rain. Hands play with clouds. Now, this is more yang style with the back of the hand facing forward. Chen style. Turn. This hand is still sweeping the lake, same way. Cloud, rain and vapor. Top hand turns palm forward. Shifting, turning, And both hands down. Wash. Wash. Settle. Put all the weight in your left leg. Turn your right foot out 5 or 10 degrees. Shift into it. Now the little Tai Chi step forward. What we don't want to do is when you step forward this way, you don't want to let the tightness in the hips cause the leg to come across this way. So when you step forward, keep a little bit of what I'll call width, right? Left to right width. And get a little bit of length or forward to back. And the toes point straight ahead. Now shift into your front leg, but only 70%. And have your belly now turn to face forward. Shift back into your back leg 100%. So that this leg is empty, or ideally. And then 70, 30. And obviously we don't have a scale to know it, but the idea is there's more in the front, less in the back, but it's not totally 100, 0, right? 70, 30. And remember, the primary direction in Tai Chi is down. So when I'm shifting forward, I'm really shifting down. Yes, the body moves forward, but I'm not lurching forward. Same thing, when I'm going back, I'm actually going down, forward, down, back. Now bring this foot back, heels touching, toes turned out, shift, Tai Chi step forward. Remember, width, length, and this foot, the toes point straight ahead. So I'm not turning this foot, toes to the corner, it's forward. And then we shift, 70, 30, belly button point forward. Keep it pointing forward more or less. 100, 0, 70, 30. 100, 0, 70, 30. Now let's change each time. One more each. Settle. Hollow. Full. Ra. Ra. Set. Hollow. One. Wing roll full, known as shogun or closing gong, closing gesture. And then we finish the practice sealing center of palm over the belly, other hand. Just a few moments and see if you can sense how nice this feels. Just kind of protective, soft, relaxed. And then the Taoist bow. Thank you, everybody. If there are any thoughts or questions, feel free to unmute and share.